Welcome back to Santa Bod for the 2019 European Finals. This weekend our pro-modified teams are racing for points in both the FIA and Motorsport UK British Championships, with the FIA series being wrapped up here this weekend. The Motorsport UK British Championship is currently led by Mark Hartwell and the Voodoo Hemi team, with just one more round to go in 2 very short weeks. With a big field and plenty of points up for grabs, both Mark and second place Kev Slyfield will be looking to qualify well and go some rounds, particularly now they're both driving 5-second race cars. So we have 2 days of qualifying for the pro classes here at the Euro Finals and the all-important Eliminations Day on Sunday. Over in the pits, we caught up with some of the racers at the top of the FIA leaderboard, starting off with Sweden's Jimmy Orland, who's once again driving both Pro Stock and Pro Mod this weekend.
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, Pro Stock has gone really well, and Pro Mod we had some ups and downs with. We won the event in Germany with both cars, and we lost first round in Tierp, which was a bad, that was really bad for us. But we're still number 3 in this championship, and mathematically it's it's doable. But the 2 teams in front of us, Gullquist and Ericsson, they're too good to make that much mistakes. So I think we're gonna, fight to keep the 3rd place or maybe move up 1 spot.
Okay, well, going into this round, you're just 4 points behind. So are we feeling confident? Can we get that back and get the championship?
That's what we're going to go for. I hope so. But it's Micke Gullquist, a good driver and a good tuner, so it's going to be a hard fight. But I will try to get number 1. That's why I'm here.
You happy with the way the car's going?
Yeah, the car is going really good. We went 580 something in Tierp, so the car is running good. I'm looking for the 70 times now.
Back at the Mopar Euro Nationals in August, British Pro Mod racer John Webster ran into problems with the Fast Company Mustang.
Well, John, end of last event we saw you and it didn't look too healthy in the car. You seemed to be a little bit concerned about what had gone, how much it was going to actually take to get the car back on the track. Not very many weeks later, you're back again. So has it been a big job?
Yeah, it has. It's been quite intense, quite expensive. The logistics and sourcing parts and time and all that kind of stuff, the usual stuff. But we figured that it was better to fix it sooner rather than later and take advantage of the last 2 meetings of the year so that we can try and get close to somewhere of getting this combination finalised and have some sort of step up for next year. Yeah, pretty much. We know why we had the issue that we did, and we think we've addressed that. So we'll be pretty much starting this event how we intended to start the last event, and then and just try and get more power and maybe more competitive.
So everyone towing down for the first qualifying session of the weekend's 20 cars on hand this weekend for a 16-car elimination ladder, so it's going to be tough just to get in the show. The man second in points at the moment in the UK Championship, Kev Slyfield, problems on the burnout. You can see the shredded blower belt. He didn't qualify back at the main event, really hoping not to have a repeat of that here this weekend at the European Finals. Mick Payne on his own with the Camaro, a really nice strong run, and it is indeed a personal best, 677.208. Well done to him. 2 of the international racers here, Mats Eriksson with the not so green these days Goblin, and Mr. 579 himself, Roger Johansson, 596 off the trailer for the nitrous car. Very good indeed. Jimmy Orland with the old 51, sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment, far side the racetrack. David Vector, we've seen him over here for a number of years now, both very strong race cars. Tyre shake for David, but into what was a pretty strong headwind, Jimmy Orland goes to number 1 for now with a 586. So we move on to the evening qualifying session. As you can see, it's getting dark. John Webster over the far side of the racetrack, taking on Jan Eriksson. Problems for John off the start line. However, Jan, even with tyre shake, goes to the top of the pile with a 582 at 245 miles an hour. A nice 6-second DT for John. That must feel good after all the problems. Our friend from Russia, Dmitry Samarukov, on the far side of the racetrack, looking for his first ever 5. And he does it with a 599. Marcus Hilt there, slowing to an 8-second pass. Mick Payne from earlier, you saw him with a tremendous run, this time with tremendous tyre shake. throws the door off the car. Mats Eriksson picks up the pace to a 5.92 at 2.30. Near side, Michel Turenne. Far side, Kim Christensen from Denmark. Tyre shake again for Michel. No problems at all for Kim. Back into the fives with a 5.96 at 2.35. Two of our UK racers really trying to get into the fives. Bobby Wallace with the Nitrous Willis and Lightning McQueen himself. That is John Tebenham on the far side. 6.15 for John, 6.55 for Bobby. Jimmy Orland with tyre shake. Roger Johansson with the nitrous car. Once again, strong, consistent to a 5.97. After two qualifying runs, 18 teams have a number on the board with just 16 places available on the ladder. Currently Nick Davis and Mark Hartvelt, UK Championship leader, on the outside looking in. Marcus Hilt's the man in number 16 spot with his 7.78 being the bump spot that Nick and Mark will have to run quicker than in order to get in the show. So first up, Wayne Nicholson hasn't got a number on the board yet. He won't get one from that one either. He takes out the half-track blocks. Nick Davis does squeak into the show with a 6.95 on that one at 206. Tyre shaking problems off the line for him. Mark Hartvelt needs a good one here. So does Jean Delamont actually, because Jean isn't qualified. Well, Mark heads for the wall again, gets back in it. The numbers on the board are a 6.59 and a 6.70 for Mark. That's perilously close to not being in the show. Mick Payne with the slightly damaged door. Doesn't matter about the red light on the tree. Jimmy Orlingo goes flying past him to a 5.78. The first run by a supercharged car in the 5.7s in Europe. Unbelievable. Mick Payne with a pretty decent 6.78 at 2.13. Well done to him. Mickey Gallquist far side against Marcus Hilt. Mickey with tyre shake again. Marcus Hilt finally, after years it seems of struggles, 6.15 at 2.25, his quickest ever run.
I only think that we need to get down the track right now, and that has been the problem in the first three runs. So we have one shot left and trying to do it, and we did a lot of changes, and I hope it can stick. Also, we had to go back to some old settings now because we only have one shot left. So
Kev Slyfield as well is in a very perilous position, hasn't really got down the racetrack. Taking on David Vector, pedal to the metal from the Netherlands. It is Dave on a stormer all the way through to a 5.81 at 2.47. Terrific run, 6.43 for Kev.
We tried some other stuff in Q1 and 2 and it didn't really work, so now we went back to our old setup. We went 5.81 and there's room to play for that, so hopefully we can put it in the 7s too now.
They're all so close. Okay, they might have 200ths on you, but 200ths is nowhere, is it, in eliminations?
No, it's absolutely nothing. We calculated it was 3 meters between our car and the old 51.
Looks like being an exciting final session as well, doesn't it? Because there's extra points involved for the top three qualifiers. Yeah,
we need it. It's Gulquist against Jan Eriksson for number 1 and 2, and the qualifying points are really, really important there. I think Jan Eriksson is in the lead at this moment. We have the same situation with the old 51. We're fighting for number 3 and 4, so we need all the points we can get.
Well, what Dave's referring to there is the FIA Championship. These two guys have been racing in the Motorsport UK Championship all season. Bobby Wallace with the Willis. John Webster, problems again, unfortunately, for that car. 6.03 though for Bobby at 2.26. Oh, so close to his first ever 5-second run. Talking of 5-second runs, wouldn't it be great if these two could do it? Freddie Fagerström from Sweden against John Tebenham. Really good, strong run together.
Unbelievable. We figured we had maybe an 09 or an 08 in it, but to go out and run 0.3, it took us all by surprise. And all it was small changes in the fuel system, small changes in the ignition curve, and it helps that the weather conditions are exceptional this weekend.
So it is Michel Turenne and Dmitry Samarukov. Dmitry went 5.99 last night. Can he back it up today? The answer is a resounding yes. Another 5.99 at 2.45.
Yes, yesterday is the first my 5 second in the European Championship, but I have 5 second in American in the Bradenton. when they test the car, but in our feel, in our emotion. In the championship, in Championat, 5 seconds is a very good, very emotional.
Kim Christensen and Roger Hansen, 2 5-second race cars already. Can they improve on their numbers from yesterday? Fabulous side-by-side run. That would be a great race. 6:01 for Roger, 5:99. No improvement. Jan Eriksson and Mats Eriksson with the black and white Goblin. We've already had the first 5.7 in a blown door car, and we've got another one. 5.78 for Jan Eriksson. Goes to number 2. After 3 qualifying runs, 19 cars have got a number on the board, including those 2 stunning 5.7 second runs. At the other end of the table, John Webster, Mick Payne and Nick Davis have it all to do, and it's Mark Hartwell, leader in the Motorsport UK Championship, who's on the bump spot. If John, Mick or Nick run quicker than a 670 and Mark can't improve, he'll be bumped out and won't make eliminations come race day. That would be a huge disappointment for the Voodoo Hemi team. No such troubles for Bobby Wallace.
Yeah, we're doing really well now. Yeah, the track's so good, so good. Caught us out yesterday. We managed to sort of half get our head around it today. Yeah, we come testing last weekend. We went 6:09, which was really good. We were really pleased with that. Left everything the same. Tried to repeat, but the track caught us out. We're just doing little changes at a time because we're finding that if we do too much, too quick, and too bigger changes, then it can just throw a completely different curveball on it.
So the bump spot at the start of this session is a 6.70. There are still 4 cars that won't qualify. Wayne Nicholson hasn't got an ET, so 19 cars are putting in a lap's time, but unfortunately Wayne punched the blocks in his qualifying run earlier on today. He's got one more chance to get in the show. Quite a few that are already comfortable, like that man there, Dmitry Samrukov, getting strapped into his Camaro for SMP Racing from Russia, but it is Wayne up first, takes his shot at the bump spot. So it is indeed last chance saloon for Wayne. Needs to go quicker than 6.70. He's done that on a number of occasions before, but really it is crunch time now, as it really is for Nick Davis as well. Now everybody is going to be trying to run quicker and faster in this final session. What they do now is all important if they want to be around to play on race day. So Wayne Nicholson with the Lucky Devil, Nick Davis with the Camaro. Tyre shake again for Wayne, but they're both pedaling it and legging it on through. Nick goes 6:41 at 2:37. Wayne 6:95. He won't get in, unfortunately. Another one on the outside looking in. Mick Payne. Oh, and Mick unfortunately rolls the lights, so he won't get an elapsed time, and he takes out the blocks to boot as well. John Webster, though, still takes it on through to a 6:50 at 2:17, which gets him in the show for now. And I do say for now, because up next is Jean Delamont and Mark Hartwell. Neither of these two are in the show. This is crucial for the Motorsport UK Championship, and Mark Hartwell gets tyre shake again. He gets his foot back in it. Jean is long gone to a 6:14, a 6:49 by virtue of what Jean ran in the other lane. Won't do it for Mark Hartwell. Check this run out again from another angle from John. He was absolutely all over the place, pedalled it, nearly hit the wall, then nearly got the blocks. But he's in the show. So Kev Slyfield needs a good one here as well. Michelle nearly gets out towards the wall. Kev pedalling again for tyre shake, 6:27 at 2:37. Nowhere near what that car can run, but he's in the show for now, which is always the most important thing. Michelle, I think, just squeaks in. See, look at that for Kev, actually. Almost instant tyre shake, but expert job getting off and on the throttle again. Now, Mickey Gallquist for the FIA Championship is neck and neck, and I mean absolutely neck and neck, with Jan Eriksson. He's in the white Camaro, and he gets tyre shake again. Marcus Hill on the far side, already in with a decent run of 6:1, 6:09 for Mickey G. He can do way, way better than that. So he goes into race day, qualified nowhere near where he would normally be. Freddie has already run 6.09. John Tebenham has already run 6.03. John has only been driving a Pro Mod. I think it's his third race this summer, and he's already knocking on the door of the 5s. Freddie gets out first, but problems for the pickup. Can John get that 5? 6:02 at 2:36. In good racing tradition, you've always got to have a couple of near misses before you actually know what you want. Really good effort for John and Luke and the whole team. Excellent first season in Pro Mod. Dmitry Samarukov, again, another one. Didn't start out too well. He ended in a ball of fire back at the main event. Taking on Bobby Wallace. Can Bobby tip it into the 5-second zone as well? The answer is not quite. 6:03 and a 6:23 for Dmitry that time round. Far side, Roger Johansson with the nitrous car. Kim Christensen again, 2 5-second runners. Huge tyre shake for Kim. And a 5:92 moving in the right direction again for Roger Johansson, Europe's quickest nitrous car. David Vector looking to improve on a 5:81, would you believe? Taking on Mats Eriksson. Mats already gone 5:92. David with a big ball of smoke through the finish line, goes 5:82, 5:89 for Mats. That's his personal best. Quickest run ever for him and first time in the 5:80s. We got to say the conditions are absolutely exceptional this weekend if they can get hold of it. As you can see, we've had the first 2 5.7-second blown Pro Mod runs this weekend, and these were the 2 guys that did it. Jimmy Orland with tyre shake on that one. Jan Eriksson legs it through to 5:81 at 2:48. So that's it for qualifying. It's Jimmy Orland in the number 1 spot. Interestingly, he also finished number 1 in Pro Stock. 3 teams can mathematically still clinch the championship: Mickey, Jan, and of course Jimmy Orland. In the Motorsport UK series, unbelievably, the points leader Mark Hartveld has failed to qualify. That opens things up for Kev Slyfield if he can go some rounds tomorrow. Mark will still come down to the start line as a first alternate, but he'll only get a chance to race if one of the other cars don't make it to the start line or fail to start.
Well, Mark, throughout the year, we've become accustomed to this car just going down the track. Yes, running 5s without a problem, but this weekend, okay, it's been difficult for some people. There's been some very good times, but it just seems to have gone, doesn't it? What's gone wrong?
Yeah, we struggle a lot. I don't know. We do the same like the Mopa Nationals, the Summer Nationals, and it doesn't work. The track is so tight, and yeah, we changed the whole setup today after the Q3, and then another tire shake. So yeah, we're really far away from where we're gonna be.
Well, obviously you're hoping that somebody can't start tomorrow, so you go in as first alternate. But if you haven't got a tune for the track, it's still not going to help, is it?
No, we hope for someone's broke or something, but yeah, hopefully we can find it. Talk to someone else, another team. So maybe some information.
Yeah, we fight about 3 years to get that car run properly like it should, and we went through all kind of stuff. Every other run, anything fell off the car. So now it's finally staying together. Yeah.
So now you go into eliminations and you can actually start thinking, we've got a chance against a lot of these people. Maybe not the top ones, but a lot of them, you've got a chance.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be able to run in the 5s to have a real chance to go and progress and go rounds. But you have to be good at the 3. That's the other thing. And I'm comfortable in the car. It will show you tomorrow if we get a chance. I mean, there's a lot more in the car, but just we find the right bolt and nut to turn.
So everybody getting set for race day. This is the nervy moment. Beautiful blue skies here. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, waiting. Hopefully someone has an incident, then we are ready.
Everyone getting suited up. Round 1 at the FIA races is always a bit of a nervy affair, especially because it's normally held under completely different conditions to the rest of the weekend. It's early, it's cool, but it's still very quick indeed. So the first pair out is going to be Bobby Wallace taking on John Templeton. Both of these two looking for their first ever 5-second run. Both of them have been oh so close, just a couple of ticks off of getting that magic 5-second timing ticket. Bobby with the 6:03, John with the 6:02, two guys from the UK duking it out on the Santa Pod quarter mile, and Bobby gets close to the wall. John doesn't, keeps it in the middle of his lane and runs a 5:97 at 2:38. 6:23 lose out for Bobby. You can see him drift out towards the wall and have to try and pedal it and bring it back together. That was all John needed to take that round win. So this race is absolutely huge for the FIA Championship. Mickey Gallquist currently got number 2 on the car. He's number 2 in points at the moment as well. He needs to win this round and keep on winning if he wants his title back. However, standing in his way is first-year Pro Mod racer from Russia, Dmitry Samrukov, with the SMP Racing Camaro. Really nicely turned out machine, tuned by Adam Flamholt. He has a really good chance of taking Mickey out here if Mickey has a problem. And Mickey has tyre shake again. Dmitry on the far side is long gone. A few car lengths over the line spell the end of Mickey Gallquist's championship hopes, and a 5.98 from Dmitry. Look at that for Mickey, shake off the line. The Camaro wagged its tail, and that's the end of his championship hopes for this year. Well, the man and legend that is Fredrik Fagerström from Huddinge in Sweden, taking on Kim Christiansen from Denmark. Now, Freddie already has his first 5-second round out in Tierp in Sweden. Would love to do it for the Santa Pod faithful here this weekend. 20 years was the first time, or 20 years ago was the first time he came here, and it looks like he might do it. Oh, he has to lift just before the finish line, goes 6:05. Wow, what would that run have been from Freddie? Only 207 across the stripe. He was out in front of Kim Christiansen, who went 6:02 at 2:38. Always a shame on that little picture. Well, burning out 2 nitrous cars, and instantly problems for Roger Johansson on the burnout. We found out later on, unfortunately, broke a rod on the burnout. Now, that is such an unusual thing to do in any one of these cars, especially on a burnout. So I can only think it's a parts failure, and real commiserations to Roger. So, freebie for Jean Delemont, who, well, gets out towards the wall but keeps his foot in it to a 6:45 at 2:32. But the round win is the most important thing for him. Marcus Hill and Mats Eriksson with the Green Goblin. He still calls it green even though it's black and white. We love that car anyway. It's so super cool. As is the matte black Punisher. All the way from the mountains of Switzerland. Marcus Hill, 6:15, his quickest run ever in qualifying. Let's see what Mats Eriksson and Marcus can do. Well, it's Mats off the start line first by a bunch. Marcus with trouble. 5:84 at 2:44 for Mats Eriksson. A huge personal best again. So Kev Slyfield taking on David Vector with a pedal to the metal Camaro on the far side. Now for Kev, this is very important. He's currently number 2 in the Motorsport UK Championship and could really do himself a favour in the points here with Mark Hartwell watching everybody else race and him just sitting there as first alternate. Kev away first by a bunch. However, he hits tyre shake. David gathers it all together to blast on through to a 5:82 at 2:44. 6:55 for Kev, but unfortunately for him, the tyre shake was so severe it cracked the rear end housing for Kev. So lots of work for those guys before the next round of the UK Championship at the National Finals. This is a big one as well. Jan Eriksson, leader of the FIA Championship, takes on Nick Davis. Don't ever bet against Nick and Rob Loring. Nick gets a whole shot off the start line. He's right with Jan Eriksson and runs a huge 249 miles an hour, but doesn't quite make it. 5:89 to Jan Eriksson. Well done to that team. Now, Jan Eriksson only really has one guy trying to run him down now, and that is the man in the old 51, sponsored by Summit, tuned by Magnus Pedersen and owned and built by Magnus Pedersen as well. That is the old 51 from Sweden with Jimmy Orland at the wheel, taking on Michel Turenne. Now, if Michel can lay one down, this is a 5-second race car. They've just had a horrible weekend trying to get the car down the track. Oh, and both of them are out of shape, and Jimmy gets away with one. He actually clicked it off from tyre shake, but problems for Michel. Watch it again in replay. We thought Michel was going to take that, but the gearbox broke. Jimmy was able to get back on it and leg it out with a 6.78. So we are on to the quarterfinals for FIA and Motorsport UK Pro Mod, with only one guy from the UK left, unfortunately, and there he is, Fabulous Lightning McQueen, John Tebenham, taking on the outgoing, potentially still champ for this year, Jimmy Orland from the L51. However, that all depends on what happens in some of the later races in this round. So Jimmy gets to jump off the start line. Johnny's going to need a PB by a bunch to run down the old 51, and he does not get it. 5.82 to a 6.08. Still a fabulous weekend for John Tebenham and the whole team. Jimmy Orland moves on through. So Jean de Le Mans, who actually wasn't qualified until the last session, taking on the newest member of the 580 club in Pro Mod, Mats Eriksson, with a 5.84. Jean de Le Mans, it's going to have to take a monumental effort from him and the team. He's also been knocking on the door of the fives all season long. A number of 6.0s. He could really do with pulling one out right now. And he does. Massive hole shot for Jean de Le Mans over Mats Eriksson, and he can't run the Frenchman down. 5.99 at 2.42. A win, a semi-final place, and his first ever 5-second 240-mile-an-hour plus timing ticket. Fantastic stuff. Well done to them. So this is for the FIA Championship for Jan Eriksson. He's got to take on the man who did him a massive favour in round one, actually, Dmitry Samrikov, because he took out Mickey Gallquist. Dmitry has been getting more and more comfortable in the car. He's had a bunch of 5-second runs over this weekend. What can he do against Jan Eriksson? Well, the answer is dead even start and almost dead even down the racetrack. True, this is a proper race by a car length at 5.80 to a fabulous 5.84 for Dmitry. Look at that. The crew on the start line looking at each other as if to say, wow. That means Jan Eriksson is the FIA European Pro Mod champ for 2019. Obviously, we still got the British Championship to decide in a couple of weeks at the national finals, but the racing this weekend has just been fabulous. That was also the quickest side-by-side Pro Mod race ever. Kim Christensen from Denmark and David Vegter from the Netherlands. Last two. Well, Kim kind of rolled through stage, so he got a red light. It will be Dave with a kind of freebie at 7.92 into the semi-final.
Yes, I am very happy for the run with Matt, and 5.9 for my crew and my team. All the person helped me. I am very happy. The weekend it's very good, and I try 5.8 perhaps.
Well, first of all, Jan, there were some really close races in that round, but you got through and that gave you the championship.
Yeah, it did, and I'm really, really happy right now. It's unbelievable. We've been fighting so hard, and we ran also over 400 kilometers. That's what I'm searching for a long time, and we ran really 70 times, and I'm really happy.
So really, we need to finish it off now with an event win. Can we do that?
We try. Everything can happen. Of course, we try to win. That's why we're here, but right now I'm really satisfied, so we see what's happened because I'm really happy now. I want to thank all my sponsors, my team, my wife, Sunnon Welding, Svenska Höjdbolaget, Surahammar Oil, Bope, who stands there, is one of my sponsors. Yeah, I want to thank everyone. Of course, without them I can't race.
Yeah, it took me 18 passes to be done this year, from buying a car, doing a bit of work to it, and then this weekend, yeah, around 5.97.
I'm guessing having Luke as crew chief helps a little bit.
Yeah, he wasn't too bad. You know, we had to put him under a bit of order, but yeah, he was all right.
But in terms of the actual racing, have you enjoyed it in Pro Mod?
Yeah, loving it. Yeah, love driving them. Super fast, super wild. We went 190 mile an hour in 3.9 seconds earlier, so yeah, it was good.
So the all-important semi-final round. They've still got the lower places to decide. We've already got number one, which is Jan Eriksson. However, Jimmy Orland or David Vegter can still kind of creep up and take number two, depending on how these races go. Jean Delemont from the southwest of France having a career weekend here at the European Finals. It didn't start out very well on Friday. 2 aborted runs, but he did get in on the last qualifying run, and here he is in the semi-final against the outgoing European champ Jimmy Orland with the old 51. So, nudging into stage, here we go. Jimmy double steps it off the start line. It will be Jean with effectively a gift at 6.25 at 2.30. Unbelievably unusual. Good to see as well that John's crew's got bigger. All of Mark Hartveld's team helping him out down there on the start line. So, Jan Eriksson, newly crowned European champ, taking on David Vegter with a wounded engine in the Camaro. However, that won't stop him racing. This is the last event of the season. They've got all winter to fix it. He wants to go out in style. However, unfortunately for him, he goes out with a red light. Jan Eriksson with a kind of freebie. 6.02 at 1.96. David, unfortunately, wastes a 5.84 at 2.39.
Well, I did a burnout and put it in reverse, and there was no reverse. It came out again. So I had to shove it in reverse again, and it came out again. So now I had to hold my hand and back up, and it came out again, and then I had to... kind of crazy. I had to go because you don't have a brake pedal in that car. Usually I use my right hand for the handbrake. So I had to shove it in reverse, keep it there, and brake with my right hand, and my knee was steering when I got back. And it got out a couple of more times. Plus, you got to put it in low gear again when I backed up. So I had to do that at the same time. So I don't know how I did it, but we got back and everything was fine. Well, it wasn't fine, but it was okay. So no worries, and go into stage. And then I was fully staged, and he was fully staged, and then his top bulb started to flicker and went out, and then the tree came down, and I wasn't fast enough with my thumb, I guess, to hit the trans brake before my foot came down, so the car took off.
Well, unbelievable honesty from a multi-time European champion there. Just goes to prove that even for the best, sometimes stuff happens. But Jimmy Orland still has a great season. He's won the Pro Stock Championship, and real nice to see as well. France and Sweden on great terms before this final round race. Jan Eriksson and Jean Delemont for all the marbles here at the European Finals. Also, of note, Jean is doing himself a massive favour in the Motorsport UK Championship standings, because he's gone a few rounds today. Obviously, well, he's in the final, and that really will help him out and move him on up the points. So, will it be Jean's first ever win? Will Jan Eriksson crown his championship season with another win? Well, Jean actually goes red on the tree, gets out of shape and punches the blocks, unfortunately. So kind of by default, Jan Eriksson takes the win. I say by default, he's been absolutely fantastic all season and all weekend here at Santa Pod as well. He really deserves it. But very odd way to end Pro Modified eliminations. So that wraps up the 2019 Pro Mod Championship with a very happy Jan Eriksson taking the title, and a huge congratulations to him and the team.
Yeah, it's really great. It's amazing. I'm really, really happy. It's unbelievable.
Going to be quite a party tonight.
It probably will get a real party tonight, yes.
How many years have you been racing this car and Pro Mod in general?
This car I have for 3 years, and I ride it 2 full seasons, I think.
It was obviously your plan all along to win.
Of course, every races want to win, but I knew we had a chance. But I mean, it's good competition, good guys. We have Gullqvist, David Vegter, Jimmy Orland. I mean, it's a lot of good races, so I'm happy to beat them. But yeah, what can I say? I'm really, really happy. Really, really happy.
The 2019 Motorsport UK Championship is still wide open, with Mark Hartveld retaining the lead and Kev Slyfield closing the gap with just one more round to go. However, Kev did a lot of damage after his tyre shaking round 1 exit, so the race is on for the Blown Bird team to get it fixed for the season closer at the National Finals back here at Santa Pod. Jean Delemont also rocketed up the points after his stellar weekend, up to 3rd. It's going to be a good one, folks. See you then.